Hello, my name is Mike Graffeo, CEO and co-founder at FluidForm, the regenerative medicine company. I'm looking forward to sharing with you the exciting developments that we've made in the last year. Human tissue is a $1 trillion opportunity. In pharmaceuticals, where today we test isolated cells in petri dishes and animals that seldom bear out with the same data as we see in humans, we can do a much better job predicting toxicity and creating disease models that will allow us to significantly improve on the success rates that we see in human clinical trials today, which are below 15% for phase 1 to phase 3. In the field of surgical repair, we can make massive gains over existing bioprosthetic devices and conventional plastic and metal devices in order to restore function throughout the body. And ultimately, in organ replacement, where engineered tissue can help to replace cadaver transplants, giving millions more patients every year the opportunity to experience life and a quality of life that they can't today. Now, in order to make tissue, you need to be able to recreate both the mechanical function, the structure, as well as the cellular biologic function. And all of the efforts of the field of tissue engineering to date have had challenges meeting one or both of those. FluidForm's proprietary technology is the first to solve that problem and to go on to create applications meaningfully based on that solution. In fact, at FluidForm, we've built the world's most advanced biofabrication platform. This goes from stem cell lines and fabrication all the way to assembly using our proprietary fresh printing process, out through tissue maturation, and yes, even with an eye towards implantation. Our platform today is already building preclinical applications, including bioprosthetic devices and miniature organ models for pharmaceutical testing. While this is by far the most advanced biofabrication platform in the world, our work is far from done. We're hard at work in our advanced R&D lab, adding new capabilities to our platform, and we anticipate significant expansion as we continue to grow. Now, we're able to build that platform because of our proprietary technology, Fresh. Fresh is the patent-protected technology that was developed over a decade in Adam Feinberg's lab at Carnegie Mellon University. Fresh was the first biofabrication and bioassembly process that was able to build real pieces of tissue that had both mechanical and biologic function. And that led to a publication in 2019 in Science, demonstrating the ability to build working components of the human heart, including things like working heart valves that were able to support real physiologic pressure, and building beating heart chambers or ventricles that can demonstrate both normal rhythm and complex arrhythmias. Subsequent to that, we were also able to demonstrate the ability to do that at size of full organs from an MRI scan, something that no other technology has ever been able to do. Now, Fresh is an exclusively licensed technology to FluidForm from Carnegie Mellon, and it's protected by over 10 issued and pending patents. In addition, over the last 3 years since we founded the company, we've developed a number of additional areas both of IP, both in patent and in trade secret knowledge, so that we're able to advance this technology dramatically. Now, our goal is to be the first to build organs. And if you imagine an organ like the heart, it has a lot of components that are really important. To build a heart, we've got to be able to build with cardiac muscle that beats properly. We've got to have valves that make sure the direction of blood flow goes where it's supposed to go. We've got to have a vascularized piece of tissue that can provide blood supply and nutrients to the muscle. And we've got to have a conduction system that can tell the heart when to beat. At FluidForm, we believe that building the individual pieces of that represent an opportunity to advance the technology, to learn along the way, to de-risk the building of that, and to do that while addressing really significant market opportunity. Our first two products, a transcatheter heart valve and a cardiotoxicity model, address $10 billion worth of market opportunity. And that's just a first step towards building organs. By building those components, we de-risk the technical development, we de-risk the clinical development, and we de-risk all of the complication in the regulatory pathway. Now, building organs represents a level of complexity and integration that heretofore has not been seen. 30, 40 years ago, the field of medical products was exclusively the domain of mechanical function, i.e. medical devices, or cellular function, i.e. biopharma. In the last 20 years, we've seen significant advancement to integrating those, whether it was in the field of combination products and bioprosthetics or cell and gene therapies. And what we'll see going forward is the continued integration of mechanical function and cellular function in the form of regenerative devices and inductive devices, and ultimately things like patches, tissue, and organs. In order to do that, just like we've seen with combination products and bioprosthetics and cell therapies, there will need to be innovation in development pathways, in go-to-market approaches. FluidForm's already solved the problem of assembly, which allows us to then go on and tackle these downstream problems. So let's talk a little bit about our existing programs. We're very excited to be working on two multi-billion-dollar near-term opportunities. The first of those is a transcatheter aortic valve. Now, bioprosthetic valves, in particular transcatheter valves, are already a $5 billion market, growing at over 25% a year. And existing valves have a significant challenge because they frequently will calcify. That calcification is due to impurities that are inherent in the manufacturing processes today. In addition, those valves can only address a fraction of the available patients because of their size. At FluidForm, we're working on a valve that will inherently resist calcification and will be able to be put down onto a catheter at a much smaller size than anything else in the marketplace, allowing our valve to treat far more patients and to treat them more effectively. By 2024, we'll have a valve that's ready to go into first-in-human trials that reduces the risk of the calcification and allows us much broader patient access. In addition, we've been working on a cardiotoxicity model. Now, cardiotoxicity is the single biggest reason why drugs fail in human clinical trials today. That's been the case for the last 20 years. And existing models have a very difficult time detecting tissue scale arrhythmias. At FluidForm, we've been developing a cardiotoxicity model that allows us to explore and examine the drug effects on arrhythmias beyond just the calcium channel. And by 2023, we'll have an in vitro model that detects these complex arrhythmias and is already in its first commercial use. Now, as exciting as those commercial opportunities are, we actually have much bigger aspirations because, as I said, our North Star is to get to being the first to build organs. And so we have a partnering strategy to allow us to significantly expand the platform capability. We've been working with Johnson & Johnson on tissue for training. We have undisclosed partnerships in 510K related medical devices and pharmaceutical assays. And by working across these different fields, the data that we collect continues to make our core platform better. The Fresh platform enables all of this and allows us to continue to accelerate each one of these programs based on what we've learned. And it's not just that we have the Fresh platform and that we're running the leading applications through partnerships on it, but we've also built an ecosystem of partnerships that allow us to address the need for GMP materials on collagens and extracellular matrices and otherwise, on cells. We've also addressed a partnership ecosystem for manufacturing capability and GMP environment that allows us to scale these rapidly so that we can address these real needs to hit patients faster. And we're very privileged because we have such an aspirational mission to attract experienced industry leaders to come join us on this. Myself, I've been doing this for over 20 years, commercializing novel medical technology in combination products, biotech, and in medical devices. I've put over 4 products through the FDA that have cumulatively sold about $20 billion in sales. My co-founder, Adam Feinberg, and his lab at Carnegie Mellon have done the leading research in the field of regenerative medicine, greatly expanding what can happen in bioassembly and driving forward on what we can learn at the intersection of synthetic biology, computational biology, developmental biology, and biomedical engineering. In addition to a really strong management team, we've attracted a great board and advisors who are significant serious industry veterans out of the pharmaceutical industry, out of 3D CAD, 3D modeling industry, who really help us advance significantly. So in summary, human tissue is a $1 trillion market, and FluidForm's built the first platform with real preclinical applications. We have a growing portfolio of strategic partnerships, and we'd be interested in speaking with you further. Thank you.